When the systems we rely on finally falter, what will your wealth be worth? Forget paper money, precious metals, or digital currencies. When the grid goes down and the stores are empty, the only thing that will truly matter is tangible value. The real currency of a collapsed world won't be found in a vault or a wallet. It will be the simple, practical items that meet immediate human needs. Things that can keep someone warm, fed, clean, or safe will become priceless. In this video, we're diving into the essentials. We will reveal 10 cheap, often overlooked items that will become worth more than their weight in gold. Stockpiling these now isn't about fear. It's about securing your future. If you want to not just survive, but thrive by holding the keys to the new economy, stay tuned. Let's get prepared. 1. The power of clean. Sanitation and morale. In any scenario involving a large-scale collapse of infrastructure, the immediate focus for most people gravitates toward the obvious pillars of survival: food, water, and self-defense. While these are undeniably critical, an often overlooked item quietly holds the potential to become one of the most valuable assets in a post-collapse world: laundry detergent. It may seem mundane, but in an environment where modern sanitation disappears and medical services are a distant memory, cleanliness transforms from a simple comfort into a powerful form of preventative medicine. When the systems that keep us healthy fail, a bar of soap or a scoop of detergent can become a literal shield against unseen threats. Imagine a world where hygiene is compromised on every level. Without reliable access to clean water and electricity, basic sanitation practices quickly erode. Clothing, especially essential items like socks and underwear, becomes a significant health hazard when worn for extended periods without washing. These garments become breeding grounds for harmful bacteria, fungi, and parasites. This can lead to a host of debilitating conditions, from minor but irritating rashes and skin infections to more severe ailments like cellulitis, fungal infections, and open sores. In a world without access to antibiotics or even basic first aid, a simple cut or abrasion that becomes infected can rapidly escalate into a life-threatening situation. This is where laundry detergent transcends its role as a household chore item and becomes a cornerstone of health and a high-value trade commodity. Its ability to eliminate pathogens from clothing makes it a silent lifesaver. What elevates laundry detergent to an elite barter item is its unique combination of attributes. It is incredibly lightweight, especially in powdered form, making it easy to transport or store without taking up excessive space or weight. Furthermore, it boasts an exceptional shelf life. Powdered detergent, when stored correctly in an airtight, moisture-proof container, can remain effective for years, if not decades. This stability ensures that your investment of space and resources will not degrade over time. Finally, it is perfectly suited for a barter economy because it is easily divisible. In a world where every resource is precious, people will not be trading for entire boxes. Instead, the economy will function on smaller, more practical quantities. A scoop of detergent, pre-packaged in a small zip-top bag, becomes a standardized unit of currency. You could trade a few bags for a day's worth of food, a handful of batteries, or medical supplies. The possibilities are endless because the need for cleanliness is universal and constant. Most people preparing for emergencies make the critical mistake of stocking large, cumbersome plastic jugs of liquid detergent. These containers are heavy, prone to leaking, and nearly impossible to divide for trade without creating a mess and wasting a valuable resource. The strategic prepper will instead focus on acquiring powdered formulas in bulk. This powder should then be transferred into more durable, long-term storage solutions like vacuum-sealed Mylar bags or airtight buckets with gamma-seal lids. For trade purposes, go one step further by pre-portioning the detergent into small, labeled waterproof bags. When chaos descends and others are facing the grim reality of hygiene-related illnesses, you will possess something they desperately need. Beyond the physical health benefits, one cannot overstate the psychological impact of clean clothes. In a world filled with the smells of decay, smoke, and sweat, the simple scent of clean laundry can provide an immense boost to morale. It's a tangible connection to normalcy and dignity, a small piece of the old world that people will pay a premium to experience. It's not just about soap, it's about health, hope, and a powerful trade currency rolled into one. 2. The kitchen alchemist. Sodium bicarbonate's hidden value. When supply chains grind to a halt and the convenience of a fully stocked supermarket becomes a fading memory, some of the most potent survival tools will be the simple, unassuming items already hiding in your pantry. Among these, few can match the sheer versatility and underestimated power of sodium bicarbonate, commonly known as baking soda. It appears as nothing more than a simple white powder, but in a world stripped of modern conveniences, it transforms into a multifunctional powerhouse. It becomes a first aid staple, a potent cleaning agent, a deodorizer, and a personal hygiene product, all in one compact, stable package. Those who understand its true potential and stockpile it now will hold a significant advantage. Let's begin with its incredible range of uses, which extend far beyond baking. In a crisis, personal hygiene becomes a primary defense against illness. Without access to commercial toothpaste, a simple paste of baking soda and water serves as an effective dentifrice, cleaning teeth and neutralizing plaque acids. This simple act can prevent painful dental infections that would be untreatable in a collapse. Internally, a small amount dissolved in water can function as a natural antacid, providing relief from indigestion, heartburn, and acid reflux when manufactured medicines are unavailable. Its gentle abrasive and alkaline properties also make it an exceptional all-purpose cleaner. It can scour burnt-on food from pots, scrub away grime and mildew from surfaces, and neutralize odors in everything from clothing to makeshift sanitation systems. A sprinkle in foul-smelling boots or added to rinse water for laundry can make living conditions far more tolerable. The value of baking soda as a barter item is magnified by its physical property. It is lightweight, non-toxic, and boasts an almost indefinite shelf life when protected from moisture. A cardboard box of baking soda in a humid environment will quickly absorb odors and moisture, turning into a solid, unusable block. The savvy prepper will transfer it into more robust containers like vacuum-sealed bags, mason jars with oxygen absorbers, or sealed plastic buckets. This ensures its potency is preserved for years. This long-term stability means you can quietly accumulate a substantial supply without the risk of spoilage. When it comes time to trade, its granular nature makes it easy to portion into small, valuable units. Single tablespoon could be a fair trade for a specific need, making it a flexible and accessible form of currency for people who may not have larger goods to offer. History has shown that during prolonged economic crises, such as the one in Venezuela, basic hygiene and cleaning products often become more sought after than electronics or luxury goods. When society is reduced to its essential needs, the demand for items that provide cleanliness, comfort, and health skyrockets. Baking soda in a pinch can serve the function of toothpaste, deodorant, all-purpose cleaner, and laundry booster. This incredible utility is what makes it prepper gold. While others are scrambling for the last bar of soap on a shelf, you will have a resource that accomplishes the same tasks and many more. The best part is that right now, it remains incredibly cheap and widely available. This is the time to build your stockpile, not when the panic begins. By thinking ahead and recognizing the multifaceted value of this humble powder, you are not just stocking a baking ingredient, you are acquiring a cornerstone asset for health, sanitation, and trade in a world where such things will be priceless. Liquid gold, the overlooked power of cooking oil. When planning a survival pantry, the focus is almost universally on long-lasting staples like beans, rice, and canned goods. These are the building blocks of a crisis diet. But people often forget the one ingredient that makes them all palatable and significantly more nutritious: cooking oil. What seems like an ordinary kitchen item today will quickly become liquid gold in a collapse scenario. Its value extends far beyond the frying pan, transforming it into a multi-purpose survival essential that will be in desperately short supply. Vegetable oil is not just about cooking, it's about calories, morale, and mechanical utility, making it one of the most strategic and tradable commodities you can possess. First and foremost, oil is a caloric powerhouse. In a survival situation where physical exertion is high and food is scarce, calories are the fuel that keeps your body running. Fat is the most calorie-dense macronutrient, providing 9 calories per gram, more than double that of carbohydrates or protein. A single tablespoon of oil can add over 100 calories to a meal, turning a bland and barely sufficient portion of rice and beans into a more satisfying and energy-rich dish. This caloric density is critical for staving off starvation and maintaining the strength needed to perform essential tasks. Furthermore, oil dramatically improves the taste and texture of food. It allows for methods of cooking like frying and sautéing, which can make foraged plants more edible and monotonous staples far more enjoyable. This boost to morale cannot be overstated. The ability to eat a decent-tasting meal can be a powerful psychological anchor in chaotic times. The utility of vegetable oil, however, does not end in the kitchen. It is a true multi-purpose resource. A small amount can be used to create a simple oil lamp, providing a renewable source of light when batteries and candles run out. A simple wick made from a cotton strip submerged in a jar of oil can burn for hours, offering light and a small amount of heat. Oil can be used as a lubricant for squeaky hinges, stuck tools, and even certain mechanical parts of firearms, keeping essential gear in working order. It can be used to condition and preserve leather goods like boots and belts, preventing them from cracking and failing. It can even be applied to skin to create a barrier against chapping in extreme cold or to help soothe dry, irritated hands. This crossover from a pantry item to a piece of survival gear is what makes it so exceptionally valuable. When it comes to stockpiling, strategy is key. The most common mistake is buying massive, multi-gallon jugs of oil. While cost-effective now, these containers become a liability once opened, as the large volume of air inside accelerates the process of rancidity. Once oil goes rancid, it's not only unpalatable, but can also make you sick. A smarter approach is to stockpile smaller, factory-sealed bottles, ranging from 16 to 32 ounces. These are far more practical for both personal use and trade. An unopened bottle of oil stored in a cool, dark place can remain viable for a year or two past its official expiration date. These smaller bottles are perfect, self-contained units for barter. Imagine the scenario. A neighbor has a garden full of vegetables but no way to cook them effectively. A single bottle of your oil could easily be traded for a week's worth of fresh produce. While others chase after shiny metals, the person who stockpiled the means to cook, light a room, and maintain their tools will hold the key to real practical wealth. 4. The unseen shield, the power of basic hygiene. In the immediate aftermath of a systemic collapse, the absence of modern infrastructure creates a cascade of failures. When clean running water ceases to flow and sanitation services disappear, the invisible world of microbes becomes the primary enemy. In this environment, one of the simplest and most underestimated items, the humble bar of antibacterial soap, transforms from a bathroom commodity into a powerful tool for survival and an incredibly valuable asset for barter. While others focus on complex gear, the wise prepper understands that preventing illness is far superior to trying to cure it in a world without doctors. The ability to simply wash one's hands or body moves from being a matter of comfort to a life-saving act. The fundamental value of soap lies in its power to break the chain of infection. In a crisis, people are constantly exposed to contaminants through direct contact, preparing food with unclean hands, or handling scavenged supplies. Pathogens that were once easily managed become deadly threats. Dysentery, cholera, staph infections, and a host of other diseases thrive in unhygienic conditions. A simple bar of soap mechanically removes these germs from the skin's surface, a function that is critical when antibiotics and medical facilities are gone. Many preppers make the mistake of stockpiling liquid hand soap or body wash. While effective, these products come in bulky, spill-prone plastic bottles with pump mechanisms that are notorious for breaking. Once the pump fails, accessing the contents becomes difficult and wasteful. Bar soap, by contrast, is a marvel of efficiency. It is compact, easy to stack, requires no complex packaging, and possesses a nearly infinite shelf life if kept dry. This makes it an ideal item for long-term storage. From a bartering perspective, bar soap is almost perfect. It is universally needed and understood. You don't need to explain its value. The need for cleanliness is a fundamental human instinct. It is also highly divisible. A single bar can be easily cut into smaller pieces, allowing for tiered trade. A quarter bar might be traded for a small amount of food, while a full bar could be exchanged for a more significant item like a tool or a pair of boots. Imagine a parent desperate to keep their children clean and healthy, or someone dealing with a minor wound that they are terrified will become infected. To them, a bar of antibacterial soap isn't just soap, it's peace of mind, it's medicine, it's a shield against a dangerous world. This immediate, tangible value makes it a far more reliable trade good than abstract assets like precious metals. The time to acquire this resource is now, while it is incredibly cheap and abundant. For the cost of a single meal at a fast food restaurant, you can purchase a stockpile of dozens of bars. When selecting soap for your preparedness supplies, prioritize antibacterial or unscented variety. While scented soaps are pleasant, fragrances can attract unwanted attention from both pests and desperate people. Practicality and function should always be the priority. Store the bars in their original packaging inside a sealed container, like an ammo can or plastic tote, to protect them from moisture and pests. In a world where public health has collapsed, those who can offer the means to stay clean will hold an astonishing amount of leverage. They will be trading not just a product, but the very foundation of health and dignity. 5. The survival multi-tool. The indispensable contractor bag. When civilization's support systems vanish, survival often depends not on the most advanced technology, but on the most versatile and durable tool. Among the most overlooked yet incredibly powerful of these is the heavy-duty contractor-grade trash bag. This is not the thin, flimsy liner from your kitchen trash can which tears at the slightest provocation. We are talking about the thick, rugged 3mm or heavier plastic bags designed for construction sites. Bags built to contain sharp objects, heavy loads, and withstand abuse. In a collapsed society, this simple roll of black plastic becomes a multifaceted survival tool, a problem solver, and a barter item of immense value. Its sheer utility is what elevates it from a disposable good to an essential piece of gear. The primary function of a contractor bag in a post-collapse world is containment, but its applications go far beyond just waste management. When sanitation services fail, the accumulation of garbage and human waste becomes a massive health hazard, attracting pests and spreading disease. A thick, puncture-resistant bag is the first line of defense in managing this crisis. However, its usefulness extends into dozens of other survival domains. A contractor bag can be quickly fashioned into an emergency poncho to provide protection from rain and wind, preventing hypothermia. It can be used as a ground tarp for sleeping, creating a waterproof barrier between you and the damp ground. You can use it to line a bug-out bag, ensuring its contents stay dry during a river crossing or downpour. These bags are also perfect for collecting and transporting water, protecting food caches from moisture and pests, and even creating an improvised flotation device in an emergency. One of the greatest advantages of contractor bags for the prepared individual is their storage efficiency. A roll of 50 or 100 bags is incredibly compact and lightweight relative to the utility it offers. You can easily store several rolls in a small space, ensuring you have a deep supply for personal use and trade. Unlike many other pieces of survival equipment, they are not subject to expiration or degradation if stored away from direct sunlight and extreme temperature. This makes them a fire-and-forget prep that will be ready when you need it. When the time for barter comes, their value will be self-evident. A person whose shelter is leaking, whose firewood is wet, or whose food stores are being raided by rodents will immediately recognize the solution you are offering. Most people fail to prepare with this item, or they make the mistake of buying standard-issue trash bags that are simply not up to the task. A flimsy bag will fail when you need it most, tearing when filled with firewood or puncturing when used as a water carrier. The durability of a contractor bag is what gives it its trading power. The ability to carry heavy or sharp objects without failure is a feature people will desperately need. Imagine offering a single rugged bag to someone struggling to carry supplies in their arm. That one bag could be traded for batteries, canned food, or medical supplies. It solves an immediate critical problem, which is the entire basis of a functioning barter economy. In a world stripped down to essentials, the humble contractor bag proves its worth as a premier survival tool. 6. The analog lifeline. Diagnosing fever without power. In an age of digital everything, we have become deeply dependent on batteries and electricity for even the most basic tasks. One of the most critical dependencies in a medical context is the digital thermometer. It's fast, convenient, and ubiquitous. But when the grid goes down for good and the global supply chain that produces batteries vanishes, these modern gadgets become useless plastic shells. It is in this moment that a simple, non-digital, mercury-free glass thermometer becomes an invaluable lifeline and a barter item of immense worth. In a world without doctors, labs, or clinics, the ability to accurately measure a fever is the first and most important step in diagnosing an illness and making life-or-death decisions. A fever is the body's universal alarm bell. It is one of the clearest indicators that a person is fighting an infection or other ailment. Knowing the precise temperature and whether it is rising or falling provides crucial information. Is it a low-grade fever that can be managed with rest, or is it a dangerously high temperature that requires immediate and aggressive intervention? Without a reliable thermometer, you are guessing. This is a gamble no one can afford to take, especially when caring for vulnerable individuals like children or the elderly. This is where the analog thermometer shines. It requires no power, no batteries, and no screen. Its function is based on the simple physical principle of thermal expansion. As long as it is not broken, it will work every single time, making it the ultimate resilient medical tool. This reliability and simplicity are what make it pure gold in a trade-based economy. It's a universal tool that transcends language and technical skill. Anyone can be shown how to use it in seconds. A parent with a sick child would trade almost anything for the ability to know if their child's fever is breaking. Someone who is feeling ill will want to know if they are contagious and need to isolate themselves from their group. The peace of mind and diagnostic power offered by this simple glass stick is immeasurable. Most people today have never considered this vulnerability. Their first aid kits are filled with digital thermometers that are entirely dependent on a fragile power infrastructure. When those devices fail, and they will, the demand for a low-tech solution will skyrocket. Fortunately, these thermometers are still available and incredibly inexpensive. For a few dollars, you can acquire a tool that is accurate, durable, and requires no ongoing resource. When stockpiling, ensure you are buying mercury-free versions, which typically contain a non-toxic liquid metal alloy like Galenstan. Store each thermometer in its protective plastic case to prevent breakage. Because they are so small and cheap, you can easily accumulate a dozen or more, stashing them in your home, vehicle, and bug-out bags. You can trade them individually or bundle them with other first aid supplies to create a high-value medical kit. In a world where you can no longer Google symptoms or visit an emergency room, objective data is king. The analog thermometer provides one of the most vital pieces of medical data, making it one of the smartest and most compassionate items you can have ready to trade. 7. The power of repair. Sustaining gear with needle and thread. In a world where consumption is the norm, we have forgotten the art of mending. When a jacket rips or a shoe sole separates, our first instinct is to replace it. But when the global supply chain has collapsed and the concept of a retail store is a distant memory, this mindset becomes a fatal flaw. The ability to repair and maintain existing gear is no longer a hobby. It is a critical survival skill. This is where one of the most humble and overlooked tools in modern society, a simple sewing needle and thread, emerges as an asset of immense value. That tiny sewing kit, forgotten in a junk drawer, becomes a powerful engine of sustainability and a high-demand barter item. The value of a sewing kit is rooted in the second law of thermodynamics. Everything falls apart. In a crisis, your gear will be subjected to intense wear and tear. Your backpack straps will fray under heavy loads. Your tent will snag on a branch and your only warm coat will tear, exposing you to the elements. Without the ability to perform basic repairs, these essential items will quickly become useless. Duct tape can offer a temporary fix, but it fails in wet conditions, loses adhesion over time, and is not a durable solution for high-stress areas. A proper repair with a needle and strong thread, however, can restore the integrity of an item, extending its functional life by months or even years. This ability to maintain and preserve critical resources, clothing, shelter, and load-bearing equipment, is a cornerstone of long-term survival. What makes sewing supplies a perfect barter item is their incredible density of value. A comprehensive repair kit containing multiple needle sizes, a thimble, and spools of heavy-duty polyester or nylon thread can be packed into a container as small as a mint tin or a pill bottle. It is virtually weightless and occupies negligible space, yet the utility it offers is enormous. You can stockpile dozens of these kits without impacting your storage capacity. Most people, even those who consider themselves prepared, will completely overlook this necessity. They will have stockpiles of food and water, but when their only pair of boots begins to fall apart, they will have no way to fix them. This widespread lack of preparedness creates a significant opportunity for trade. When bartering, you are not just offering a needle and thread, you are offering the solution to a critical problem. To the person with a torn tent in the middle of a rainstorm, your small kit is worth far more than a can of food. To the individual whose backpack strap has snapped miles from their destination, your ability to facilitate a repair is priceless. To increase the trade value, assemble well-thought-out kit include a variety of needle types, from heavy-duty sail needles for canvas and leather, to smaller ones for clothing. Add a generous amount of UV-resistant heavy-duty thread, including a few buttons, safety pins, and a small pair of foldable scissors elevates a simple collection of items into a complete repair system. In a world of scarcity, those who can make things last will hold the advantage. The needle and thread are not just tools for mending fabric. They are tools for preserving life. 8. The simple machine of security. The humble clothespin. When the power grid fails permanently, the modern conveniences we take for granted will vanish, and with them the simple ability to dry our clothes. The electric dryer, a staple in almost every home, will become a silent, useless metal box. In this new reality, air-drying laundry becomes the only option, and a seemingly trivial household item, the clothespin, suddenly becomes an essential piece of survival hardware and a surprisingly valuable commodity for trade. It is a perfect example of a low-tech tool whose importance is magnified exponentially when high-tech systems disappear. The ability to securely dry clothing and other items is not a luxury. It is fundamental to hygiene, health, and morale. In a survival context, wet clothing is a significant liability. It can lead to rapid heat loss and hypothermia, even in mild temperatures. It also promotes the growth of bacteria and fungus, leading to skin infections and other health issues. Simply draping wet garments over a line or a branch is an unreliable solution. A gust of wind can easily blow them to the ground, forcing a rewash with precious water or leaving your only set of clean socks covered in mud. Clothespins solve this problem. With elegant simplicity, they provide a secure anchor, ensuring that valuable clothing is not lost to the elements. This simple act of securing an item to a line makes the difference between having dry, usable gear and facing a potentially dangerous situation. Their utility also extends beyond the clothesline. Clothespins can be used to clip food bags shut, organize small items, secure a tarp to a branch, or hold notes in place. Wooden clothespins can even be disassembled and used as tinder in an emergency. The barter potential of clothespins lies in their low cost and high utility, combined with the fact that almost no one thinks to stockpile them. Right now, a pack of 50 or 100 clothespins can be purchased for a pittance. However, in a world where they can no longer be manufactured or shipped, their value will skyrocket. People will quickly realize the frustration and risk of trying to dry clothes without them. Your surplus supply will become a sought-after resource. They are lightweight, durable, and take up very little space, making them easy to store and transport. For trading, they can be easily bundled into small, practical lots. Imagine offering a package of 10 clothespins and a length of paracord, a complete, ready-to-use clothesline kit, to someone struggling to keep their family's clothes clean and dry. That kit could easily be worth a day's worth of food or a handful of batteries. When choosing clothespins for your preparedness supplies, opt for the classic spring-loaded wooden variety. They are generally more durable and robust than their plastic counterparts, which can become brittle and break over time, especially when exposed to sunlight. The wood also offers the secondary benefit of being a combustible material if you need to start a fire. Store them in a dry location, perhaps in a sealed bag or container, to prevent the wooden parts from rotting and the metal springs from rusting. In a world stripped of its complexities, survival is often about mastering the basic. The simple, reliable function of a clothespin to hold things in place becomes a pillar of daily life, quietly supporting the larger systems of hygiene and order. 9. The instant fixer. The versatility of the safety pin. In the hierarchy of preparedness, there are items that provide sustenance, shelter, and security. Then there are the unsung heroes, the small, unassuming tools that solve 1,000 different problems, often in unexpected ways. The safety pin is the king of this category. In our current lives, it is an afterthought, a quick fix for a wardrobe malfunction or a forgotten item in a sewing kit. But in a collapse scenario where improvisation is a daily necessity, the humble safety pin transforms into a multifunctional micro-tool and a form of currency driven by pure utility. Its strength lies in its simplicity, durability, and a range of applications so broad that it becomes an indispensable part of any survival kit. At its core, a safety pin is a tool for fastening. This single function can be applied to a vast array of critical survival tasks. When clothing rips, a line of safety pins can close the tear in seconds, providing an immediate and secure fix that is much faster than sewing. This is vital for repairing a jacket in a cold environment, or patching a hole in pants while on the move. Its role in first aid is equally important. It can be used to secure a bandage, create an improvised sling for an injured arm, or hold a splint in place. This ability to quickly secure medical dressings can be life-saving when dealing with an injury in the field. The utility continues with gear repair. A broken zipper on a backpack or a tent can be replaced by a series of safety pins, restoring the functionality of essential equipment. They can be used to hang gear, attach items to a pack, or even serve as a makeshift fishing hook or tool for extracting a splint. What makes safety pins a top-tier barter item is their universal appeal and incredible value density. A pack containing 100 safety pins of various sizes weighs next to nothing and can fit in the palm of your hand, yet it provides solutions to dozens of potential problems. They appeal to everyone, regardless of their skill level. You do not need to be a seamstress or a medic to understand how to use one. This universal applicability ensures a constant demand. Furthermore, they are an ideal trade good because they are cheap to acquire now, durable, and easy to package for barter. They do not rust if kept dry, have no expiration date, and can be divided into small lots for trade. You can pre-package 10 assorted pins in a tiny zip-top bag, creating a standardized trade unit that could be exchanged for matches, a candle, or a small portion of food. Most people preparing for a crisis focus on the big ticket items and completely neglect these kinds of This oversight is your advantage. When others are struggling with broken gear and jury-rigging solutions with unreliable materials, you will have a simple, robust, and effective answer to their problem. When selecting safety pins, choose high-quality, rust-resistant steel pins in an assortment of sizes, from the small pins needed for clothing to the large sturdy ones capable of holding heavy canvas or leather. Stockpiling them is a negligible investment today that will pay enormous dividends in a future where the ability to hold things together is the key to not falling apart.